what's up, everyone? This is Kenya, and I am the creator of all things Loop. And as you should know by now, Loop stands for Live It, Own It, Obtain It on Purpose. We are still celebrating 28 days of Black excellence. And our mission is to put your purpose on display. We connect with leaders and influencers of color across all industries, giving space to their voices and celebrating the power that lives within their story. And we are continuing. We won't stop. And we have Alieshia here with us tonight. How are you?
I am good. So excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. We've been knowing each other for a very long time, and I'm excited to know what's been going on with you.
Yes, I'm so excited to chat. Thank you so much for letting me be a part.
No problem. So let's get started. How did you get started in your industry?
So, this was a real kind of tough question for me.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm in a lot of different industries, but
Yeah.
specifically, I will talk about travel and media.
Okay.
So first, I got started by blogging.
Hmm.
I like to travel. I studied abroad and different things like that. And I wanted to highlight other Black people who studied abroad and who traveled. So I started my blog. And it was just like a travel blog. And I would interview people. I would talk about my travels and different things like that. Then later on, I started my podcast, Millennial Thoughts. And that was just me wanting to share what it was like about adulting.
Yeah.
So I would say those kind of like started me into the media industry and getting, my feet wet with like content creation and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love it. So are you saying that the blog kind of set for the Millennium Thoughts as well?
Yes, I would
Mhm.
say that it did because then I just started kind of like just talking about life, like
Mhm.
life after graduation and stuff like that. Because I mean, traveling is expensive,
It
so
is.
I always just talk about travel. So I kind of like threw some lifestyle stuff in there,
Mhm.
and then I was like, oh, let me just kind of start a podcast. So I would say that that's kind of how that journey went.
What's your definition of Black excellence?
My definition of Black excellence is excelling within whatever your parameters are,
Mhm.
whatever your industry is. So I say that if you reach the top, the pillar of anything, that is Black excellence to me. And so, for an example, that would be me like saying if I got a travel show, like a lot of people don't get like travel shows on TV. So I would say
Yeah.
that's Black excellence to me when you reach a top tier and you're able to just like shut everybody down.
When you killing the game, killing it.
Okay, yes. That's Black excellence to me.
Absolutely. So how do you feel you are contributing to moving the culture forward?
I believe that I am contributing to moving the culture forward by talking about things that are not talked about within the Black community and
Mhm.
just sharing my experiences. When you grow up, it's like, oh, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. People aren't as transparent and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it's like, you don't know what you don't know when you are growing as an adult. As a young adult, there's a lot of things that people aren't telling you. So you're finding out by yourself. So with me, I feel like the conversations on my podcast is helping people learn and grow in different areas in their life, whether we're talking about how to budget money, because some people really don't know how to do that. We're
Yeah.
talking about traveling. I feel like my podcast is an exposure podcast to a lot of different things that are going on in the world, from politics to, being a mom, being married, and just like a whole bunch of different things that is not really talked about on a day-to-day basis within your friend group or what you learned in college.
So when did you start the podcast?
2018.
Yeah.
Actually, today I released my 100th episode. So
Wow, that's
I'm so
amazing.
excited for
That is amazing. And we're interviewing you right now. So that's really amazing.
that. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. So, we've been doing it for a while. So
Right.
hopefully now then the YCP Image Awards, they have they have a new category now for entertainment and podcasts. So
Uh-huh.
I said that like getting that, like that is success to me. Like that's
Yeah.
really one of my goals now.
So now you going forward, then that got it. So
Yes,
you done spoke it out your mouth. So now we're gonna entertain it. And so when I see it on your stories, I'm gonna say, yo, you said that on the podcast.
Okay, yes. Like, so there's higher. So I'm like, okay, I need to, that's another goal I got now.
Right. So what's your definition of living in your purpose?
My definition of living in my purpose, I would say is educating, doing something that you love. So I love educating. I love meeting people. So I would say that that is my purpose. Being able to connect people to resources is
Hmm.
living my purpose. And I feel like I'm doing that through my podcast in multiple different ways. So I feel like whatever you do that you love, that's within your purpose because you love doing it. Nobody's asking you to do it. And
Yeah.
it's just coming literally from your heart and from like your mind. Like nobody's telling you what to do. So I feel like
Hmm.
that's living in your purpose.
Yeah, when you can wake up every day and do the same thing without any effort, that's like
Hmm.
living in the purpose.
Yes, yes. Definitely. So I feel like that kind of ties into what I'm doing. Like
Hmm.
I'm not living in my purpose all the way, but I'm working towards living in my purpose because I know what I want to do, but it's just like I
Right.
can't get there to be able to do it all the time.
Right.
Mhm.
So, who have you looked up to that defines Black excellence?
Ugh, this one was hard, but I would say Oprah Winfrey, number
Yeah.
one, Ava DuVernay, and
Hmm.
then for my millennial girls, I'm gonna say Issa Rae.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Amazing. That's a good group. That's a
Yeah,
good balanced group.
yes, yeah, because they're like all different generations type thing.
Yeah.
But like they put each other on, they did things, they weren't afraid, and so they like went for it.
Yeah. Absolutely. What's the next steps for you? How can we support you?
So my next steps is definitely going to check out my podcast because I am launching a new season. It'll be season 8 coming very soon.
Wow. That's
Um,
a huge accomplishment.
yes, thank you. So that is something that's really big, and so I'm so excited to keep going with the podcast. And also I do a lot of interviews and different things like that. So this month is February, it's the love month. So on my
Hmm.
YouTube channel, I'm actually doing a marriage series where I'm talking to people who have been married for like 40 years, 30 years.
Wow.
And so just highlighting that and just sharing that because I feel like a lot of stuff goes on in social media, the toxic masculinity, the marriages and all that and stuff like that. So I try to highlight the good parts about it. So on
Yeah.
my YouTube channel, Alicia's Adventures, I am highlighting black marriages, like people who are married for a long time
Hmm.
on there. So that's a couple things that are coming up next for me.
And how can we follow you?
On Instagram, Alicia's Adventures and Millennial Thoughts Pod. And then on YouTube, it's Alicia's Adventures as well.
Alicia, thank you so much. I appreciate you have been supporting me for a very long time, and I appreciate that. Like I really do. If you guys have not, please go follow Alicia. She's doing amazing things, and if you have not already, go follow All Things Loop. We're still celebrating 28 days of Black excellence, and I'm super excited about it. Until next time.